Hi there YouTube, and I just uploaded my cat video, so he's sitting still right over there. I make a lot of YouTube videos, and I just love making YouTube videos for other people's free time. I don't want to say boredom, because it sounds like a waste, but so I did part 1 of my all my Goosebump reviews, so I'm going to move on to part 2. So let's start off with number 21, Go Eat Worms. This book was published in July 1994, and it has 119 pages. This book had a great story, and I thought it was very creative, but I thought that the characters were a little weird, and I also didn't really like the book. I thought the plot was good, but he could have made the book a bit better. Hear any bleeping with my Skype, as I said in other videos. Okay, number 22 in the Goosebumps series is Ghost Beach, August 1994, 119 pages, same as the last one up there. So basically what happens in this one is it's like this cave, and there's supposedly a ghost inside there, but it turns out to just be the man, and I'm just not going to spoil it for you anymore, even though I'd like to. And then so, I thought this book was great. I'd probably put it in my top 30. And I'll give it a, maybe a 7 out of 10. Number 23 is the second book to the Curse of the Mummy's Tomb, and this is Return of the Mummy. It was published on September 1994, and I also read that it takes him 8 to 9 days just to write a Goosebump book. That's really easy. It has 118 pages, and I thought this book was really good, and I thought it was equal to the greatness of the other book, The Curse of the Mummy's Tomb. Number 24 in the Goosebump series is The Phantom of the Auditorium. This was published on October 19... my cat's running away from me. October 1994, and it has 126 pages. I thought The Phantom of the Auditorium was a really great book, and I'm going to put it in my top 20, probably. And I would give it 8 out of 10, maybe an 8.5 out of 10. Okay, so the next book is number 25, and that is Attack of the Mutants. I very, very much hate this book. Some people think it's the best book, but I hate this book. It just sucks so bad. Basically, that this guy who's obsessed with superheroes, and so blah blah blah. He finds the place that's inside his comic book, and he's a comic book. I don't know, explain that. November 1994, and published November 1994, and I thought that this book was like. Keep moving to different positions. But this book was okay, and it had a great story. Just make it better. The 26th book in the series. One second, I just need to check something. The 26th book in the series, and that is My Harriet's Adventure. I thought this book had a great story, and I also really liked this book. Unlike some others, this is in the least popular kind of Goosebumps section, as same as the Attack of the Mutant. But I really liked this book, and it was really nice. Okay. So the next book in the series is number 27. That's A Night in Terror Tower. This is definitely in my top 10, because maybe possibly top 5. I have to make my list, because I love this book in every way, and it was just the most amazing story I'd ever heard in my life. And I just loved this book. The next one is number 28, and that's The Cuckoo Clock of Doom. Unfortunately, I have not read that book yet. Yeah, one second. Let me just move these books over here. I have not read this book yet, but I saw the episode, and the episode made it look pretty good. So I'm probably going to go watch that. No, buy it. Number 29 in the Goosebumps series is Monster Blood 3. This book was in the Monster Blood collection, and I haven't read most of the Monster Blood books except for the first book, but I've heard of the third book, and I heard that it's like, the main character in the story, he gets really big because he accidentally ate the Monster Blood, man. So I haven't read this book yet, and I'm really looking forward to read it. So number 30 in the series is It Came From Beneath the Sink. This is definitely a classic book to me, because it's the second book I ever read in the Goosebumps series. And funny story, too, how I started reading the Goosebumps series, and it has to do with my library and some guy named Geffen. So basically, this book was okay, and it's called It Came From Beneath the Kitchen Sink. I loved this book. Definitely top 20, 15-ish. Okay, so next one is number 31, and that is Night of the Living Dummy. As I told you before, I hate the Night of the Living Dummy series, so you already know my answer to that one. Number 32 is The Barking Ghost. The Barking Ghost, I saw the episode and it sounded really good, and I can't wait to read this book. I'm super looking forward to reading this book. Okay, so number 33 in the Goosebumps series is, I have this book. Yeah, let me find that. Is I'm so stupid sometimes. Is Horror at Camp Jelly Jam. I loved this book, and I thought this book was amazing, and so it's definitely in my top 20. Not my top 10, because I kind of like some other books better. But this book I thought was amazing, and I just love this book. Okay, so the next book in the series is Revenge of the Lawn Gnomes, which I also have. And I also really love this book, and that'd be my top 20 or possibly top 10. But this book was amazing, and I thought it was very creative and kind of creepy. Okay, so the next book in the series is number 35, A Shocker on Shock Street. I unfortunately haven't read all the Goosebumps, as I told you before, but that is one of the books I haven't read, and so the episode kind of sucked, but I really want to read this book. Okay, so number 36 is The Haunted Masks 2. As I told you before, I hate this book, and I hate all the Haunted Masks series, so just, yeah. Okay, the next one, and you see how much time I have? The next one is number 37, and that's The Headless Ghost. I liked this book, and I have it over there somewhere, but because I chucked it out of the library, our school library, but I don't have it, like, right now. Okay, number 38 is The Abominable Snowman of the Pasadena. Okay, let's see. I've read this book, but I kind of read it in the graphic novels, and I thought that this book was pretty, it was pretty good, and it looked pretty good in the graphic novel, and so I can't wait to read it as a paperback, though. So number 39 in the Goosebumps series is How I Got My Shrunken Head. That book is definitely a classic Goosebumps, and everyone loves this book. Well, most people love this book, and I like this book. Definitely about top 30. Give it maybe a 6 out of 10. Next one is number 40, The Night of the Living Dummy. I'm going to put that one right on number 60 because it was actually my favorite Night of the Living Dummy book. Actually, Night of the Living Dummy 3 I really enjoyed. Out of all the Night of the Living Dummy books, that's the one that was actually really good. Okay, number 41 is Bad Hair Day. Bad Hair Day sucked. Serious face right now. Sucked. Number 42, Egg Monsters from Mars. This one is definitely a really unpopular Goosebumps, but I loved this book. This book was just amazing. It just had some, it just made me, it's one of the first Goosebumps books that actually made me feel like I was inside the book. Number 43 in the Goosebumps series is The Beast from the East. This book is also a pretty unpopular Goosebumps as well, but I also really liked it, but I read it so much times that I actually got so bored of it, but it was really good. Okay, so the next one in the series I actually have, and it's Say Cheese and Die Again. I read this book, and it's pretty good, but as I told you, I don't really like the Say Cheese and Die. It's a really good idea, but I didn't like the story. Okay, so moving on to the next one. Number 45 is Ghost Camp. I have that one over there too, but I checked out of my library. I checked 2 books out of my library. And so I thought this book was also pretty good, but I just loved it. So that's one going to be in my top 20, definitely. Okay, number 46 is How to Kill a Monster. I have read this book so many times, and I just like it every time. Number 47, The Legend of the Lost Legend. Sorry. I got this book, and this book just sounded so amazing, but it was definitely kind of bad, actually. It didn't make a lot of sense the whole time, and I didn't really like it. But other than that, make a better story next time, because that plot, amazing. Okay, so the next one in the series is number 48, and that is Attack of the Jack-O-Lanterns. I also like this one, and Okay, so the next one in the series is number... Ugh, bad music. One second. Is Vampire Breath. I really liked Vampire Breath. It's a very good book. And the episode used to be my favorite Goosebumps episode. Well, me and my brother's favorite Goosebumps episode. But now my favorite Goosebumps episode is a different Goosebumps episode. So, now I'm going to try and finish this really quickly. Okay, so the next one in the series is Calling All Creeps. And here it is. I have Calling All Creeps. Right there. Ah, stupid glare. But this book was also really good, and I thought it was pretty creative. As same as Vampire Breath. It might go a bit lower down my list because of some other great books. But other than that, I really like this book. Okay, the next one in the series is Beware the Snowman. This one's also kind of an unpopular Goosebumps. I have the book, but I loved this book so much, and it had a great story, and it was just very kind of scary and awesome at the same time. Okay, so the next one in the series is How I Learned to Fly. And this book was really good, and this was definitely actually, I read it so many times, and I've loved it every time, and this is actually, I think, my favorite, I'm not sure, my favorite Goosebumps book that I ever read, but, yeah. Okay, let's move on to the next one, and that is Chicken Chicken. This is also a really, really unpopular Goosebumps. Most of the unpopular Goosebumps are in my library, so I remember reading them first. But Chicken Chicken had this just amazing story, but I just didn't exactly enjoy the characters. But other than that, okay, now Don't Go to Sleep. That's number 54, and I hated the episode. It had nothing to do with the book. Nothing. And the book was really good. They were kind of good. I might put them in my top 40, though. Okay, number 55 is The Blob That Ate Everyone. This is definitely an original for me because this is one of the first books that I ever read. And so I'm going to put this in the definitely top, 30 books. Okay, The Curse on Camp Cold Lake. Now that's one to talk. I really fell in love with this book, and I'm probably going to check it out soon out of my library. But I loved this book, and it had a great story, and it was just very bone-chilling. Sounds weird to say. Okay, so the next one in the series is My Best Friend is Invisible. I thought this book was okay. The episode was okay, too, but I might put that in my top 50, maybe top 40. I just didn't like it so much. Okay, so the next one in the series is Deep Trouble 2. Now, let me see. Deep Trouble 2, it wasn't as good as the first one, I can say that. But the first one was good, but Deep Trouble 2 wasn't just as good as the first one. It didn't make the expectations that I had for the first one. The next one is The Haunted School. Now, I don't have that book, but I thought that the story was really good, and I put that on my top 30 or maybe top 45. But top 40, 35. But this book was really good, and I also really enjoyed it. So the next one in the series is, the last two books in the series I have, is Werewolf Skin. Now, this book is my favorite Goosebump episode, and my favorite werewolf book I ever read. This is my favorite Goosebump episode, and I just really, really loved this book. Okay, so the last one in the series that R.L. Stine ever wrote, I Live in Your Basement. That's number 62 in the Goosebumps series, and this book was okay, but Werewolf Skin was definitely better. This book was very creative. It just had a kind of weird story. So thank you for watching, and that has been my reviews on all the Goosebumps books, part 2. Put comments down below on what other stuff you want me to do, like room tours and stuff like that. So thank you.